What is on your never again list? Don't ever try to convince yourself that you can wash the shampoo out of a Head and Shoulders bottle well enough that you can fill the bottle with whiskey and sneak it into an all-ages concert. Eating one of everything from the McDonald's dollar menu in one sitting. Sugar. Tried it once. Had an amazing night and immediately thought to myself, how so that's why people get hooked on it. It was a fun experiment but not one I need to repeat. Drinking vanilla extract. Smells so good, but tastes so bad. I have been on fire twice in my life. I am trying to avoid being on fire again. I would strongly suggest not being on fire. Tequila. But every once in a while, I forget that I have that on my list only to be reminded the next day. I'll never pour sugar from a jar on my strawberries without checking if it's salt first. Rubbing my eyes after handling jalapenos. Edit. Lessons I have learned today. Eye handling may be bad but nothing compared to another spot. So for others, after you handle peppers, don't put in a tampon diddle, your own or a friend's. Privates take a piss. Men, scratch or touch down there in any capacity. Ouch. Never seriously date someone who's willing to cheat on their current partner to be with you. Always ends in bad times. Update. This was posted as something I would never do again. I'm not trying to tell you guys how to live your lives, what risks to take, or what situations to avoid. I'm just a guy on the internet. A physically big guy with the soul of a teddy bear. I will never take another man's girlfriend again. It brought nothing but mistrust and self-loathing to my life. I loved that girl. I loved her so much. I still care about her. It hurts to say but I'm glad she found someone that made enough money to make her happy. I'm happy she's happy. That's all I ever wanted for her. And if she's reading, I'm sorry I couldn't make her happy. I'm sorry to the guy I took her from. She told me something that obviously wasn't true. And what was true was just shallow as duck. Everyone else. Please don't learn your life lessons secondhand. If you feel it, love, treat it like it's there. Who knows, it may work out for you. To everyone else who has commiserated with me, I appreciate it. I know how you guys feel. I know how the guys who have had successful relationships post being the guy on the side goes. I've been in both places. I just know it's not the kind of life I want to live. I'm not a charismatic guy. I don't have the personality to back up my looks. No, I have looks and talent, and I know that at the end of the day 99% of the girls I date will date me because of my potential, not because of my reality. Maybe one day I'll find the one that does want to be with me for who I am. Who wants to back me up on my dreams. Who wants to be part of it from the start. But until then I'll just keep letting things happen as they happen. Accusing and thanking no cosmic balance or higher power for the events that unfold. I am who I am. What happens, happens. What is, and what will be, will be. I can only get upset over what I can control. And I can't control people. So I guess I'll just have to live knowing that there's always a potential that I'll have to love my art, my music, and my goals. Peace all. Being overweight. Lost 40 kgs over the last 2 years. Never going back. Using my blender to chop up garlic and then using it again to make a strawberry smoothie. Worst decision of the week. Edit. In case it wasn't clear enough, I was drinking my strawberry smoothie and enjoying life, and then all of a sudden something solid goes down my throat and I'm sitting in my chair coughing, wondering what the hell I just swallowed. I didn't drink out of that cup for a week. Edit 2. Changed my life to the week. Thanks for the upvotes guys, you're pretty awesome. Trying to impress other people. Sugar free Haribo gummy bears. Sleeping with socks on. The last time that happened, I woke up with one in my pocket and the other had vanished. Edit. RIP my inbox. Edit 2. Yes, I wore shorts to bed. Okay, it was cold. Clearly that was my mistake, not the socks. Edit 3. Maybe we should fund a Kickstarter to find my sock that I lost last year. Beer bong, any sort of hard alcohol. Cancer. I always tell people, if I had known it was going to be that much of a hassle, I never would have had cancer in the first place. Edit. I am very happy that my first gilded comment is a subtle giving of the finger from me to cancer. Edit 2. For the record, I did have cancer, and I kicked its ass. Salvia, I know what hell is like now. Me and my stepbrother jumped on a sketchy apartment elevator at the same time to scare my sister. I am neither confirming or denying that we fell 2.5 floors and were stuck for an hour in the dark. Sorry sis. Grave of the Fireflies, the greatest movie that I will never watch again. Whole bag of flaming hot Cheetos, oh god, my butthole. Nair on the genitals, my balls look like peeled grapefruits. Making bacon naked, the logic seemed sound. Working in a call center, it's a miserable job and I'd rather throw myself off a building than have to do it again. Edit. Holy yes, I went to bed and woke up with an overflowing inbox. Edit 2. Thought I'd share one of my experiences. Called a number looking for this woman who was a previous donor. A guy answers the phone and I ask, hello, is MRS blah blah there? At which point the man bursts out sobbing and cries she left ME. Now, we were required to ask people at the current number if they had new contact info for the person. But I felt like an asshole already, so I apologized and disconnected. Little did I know my supervisor was listening in on the call, despite the fact I had just had a job review the previous week. I was berated for not asking a sobbing man if he knew the contact information for his ex. This is far from the worst experience I had, but I figured I'd share. Edit 3. Maybe I should head over to Arteles from call centers. Earlier today I tried being creative while preparing my steak. Decided to add some honey and random spices I thought would fit. Worst decision ever. Smelled like it and tasted even worse. Stubborn me decided to eat half of it before giving up. Duck cup number 2. My sweat smells like that ducking steak and it doesn't go away in the shower. So I guess I'll add cooking without instructions to my list. Vegas. It's like a mix of Mos Eisley Cantina and a glittery litter box. Edit. Holy duck gold, I knew my hatred would pay off. Turning on other players' mics while playing a PlayStation game online. I'm a grown up who loves playing games, but I hate the community. You're a bunch of racist, misogynist relics of the past. Flying a cat on a plane. I have a 14-pound Siamese. I gave him a sedative, but he resisted it. I had him in one of those cloth and mesh carrier bags. Security. They made me take him out of the bag and carry him through the metal detector. It was like walking through a paper shredder. Luckily, a nice woman helped me get him back into the bag. On the plane, he cried constantly for 2 hours and chewed 3 small holes through the mesh. After I got him to my new apartment, he passed out for 12 hours. Also, I will never again drive with a car for 19 hours straight. It was just as bad as flying with him. These trips were 7 years apart, and 2 different moves. I'm planning on moving across the country in about a year. I don't know how I'm going to do that again. Turns out relish isn't a very good sex lube. I will never shave my pubes again. So itchy and irritating. I'll just trim it. Avoid fixing the toilet seat. Sat down. It twisted. Torn my sack. Duck, that hurt. Edit. So a lot of people asking how this happened. One of the screws holding the seat on in the back was gone while the other was loose. So the seat just kinda sat on top on the bowl. It moved and I never thought anything of it since it's at my shop and no one uses it but me. So I sit down and adjust a bit. Well, with my balls hanging, the seat twisted, quickly catching a piece of my sack in between the seat and the bowl. Yes, there was blood. Yes, it hurt. No hospital. Fix the damn toilet before this happens to you. Recreational opiate use. Sure. Let's just negate all motivation forever again. Couldn't possibly backfire. Opiates are like a cheat code that overrides the brain. All goals equals met. All dreams equals achieved. Happiness equals certain. Until it wears off and you realize you have less happiness than ever. Your dreams are further away than ever. And the only solution you can think of is another pill. Duck that. My dreams are still insanely far away. My motivation is still lacking. But at least I'm done cheating. Threesome. Never again. I'm hell of a lot more territorial than I ever imagined. Edit. I think there was some confusion. I am a bisexual female who was dating a straight male. We had a threesome with a mutual straight female friend. It was fun at the time. It's the aftermath we all had to deal with. BF at the time felt it was owed to him that we have a threesome cause I'm bi, which obviously means I'm okay with having sex with multiple partners and that I should be okay with my BF doing the same thing. That was heavy sarcasm. I'm actually a very monogamous person. I was 19 and a doormat and felt guilted into it. Mutual female friend was an angel about it. I told her I was feeling territorial and odd about her and him hanging out, and she totally got it and backed off a bit until I got myself under control. Maybe a period of a month. She's my best friend now who is engaged. I dumped the guy a bit ago and am currently dating someone who isn't an ass about my bisexuality. Edit 2. Thanks for the gold, mysterious internet persons. Oh. As a kid I had the bright idea of spraying Lynx Africa on my arsehole so that I would smell great all over. My ass is still tingling today. Getting tortured by hospital staff. If curious, check sort my posting history by top and read the first one. Sex show in Thailand. To be fair, I did learn that the V can do much more than just taking in Ds. But never again. Edit. Whoa, this blew up. Well, I went with a bunch of buddies from the Navy. Dingy little place recommended by the dodgy taxi driver. Paid about $30 to get in. There was one that, I kid you not, used a blow dart with her pussy to pop balloons. Also one that smoked a cigarette with her pussy. You can see the cigarette end lighting up as it's being dragged. Needless to say, she blew out said smoke. Ping pong balls were shot out too, but I guess that's pretty common. I was just glad that none of the balls came flying towards me. Who knows what else has been up there. 10/10 would go once just to say been there, done that. 0/10 would not go again. Never again. Obligatory. My highest rated comment is about pussy smoking. Edit. Edit 2. Also, just remembered. One girl pulled out handkerchiefs tied together like David Duck in Copperfield. One night stands. I am way too ducking awkward for that. 6 days in Disneyland with my 2-year-old who is too small to ride the rides, my wife, and 4 people over the age of 60. 2 were in-laws. 1 was the mother-in-law's sister. 1 was daughter's godmother. So much walking and doing nothing. Living with roommates. Sure, it's cheaper, but these bags are filthy, lazy, greedy, disgusting people. You don't know discomfort until you ask a 30-year-old woman to clean her period blood off the bathroom wall. 1 was a close friend for 9 years, and now I can't stand the sight of him. 6 months until freedom. Not washing my hands before peeing immediately after a big Maryland boiled crab meal. Base seasoning up my urethra. FIYHAA. Caviar. That it tastes like fish eggs. Skydiving, parachuting. Went solo parachuting first time. No tandem. Static line. Plane took off. Got to altitude. Door opened. I climbed out a long strut and let go. See the plane fly away and bang, chute opens. Thank God. They taught up the chute line shouldn't twist up above our head. They did. They taught us the slider will come down and flap about. But don't worry about it. I did. They taught us to check that all our lines are taut. They weren't. They didn't tell us training chutes had lots of slack in the steering lines. Basically I panicked. Thought my chute was defective and I cut away. Free falling through the air again. Reserve chute open, thank God. Much smaller chute. Faster. A lot more responsive. When I turned I went flying out parallel with the ground. Like being on the end of a 5-meter pendulum swung back and forth. Reserve chute had no twisted lines. Silent slider and taut lines. I loved it. Did a perfect landing. The instructor came up and said don't talk to me. He was fuming. We had to fill out an incident report. They shut down not long after that. Not sure if it was related though. Easily the closest I have ever come to dying. TL. Doctor went parachuting solo for the first time. Panicked and pulled the reserve chute. Never again. Sucking a D. I am definitely not bisexual. Tooth extraction without sedation. Cheap vodka. I just got burgled a couple of hours ago while I was in my home. Never again will I leave my doors unlocked. In no particular order, 10 things I wouldn't want to go through twice. 1. Cinnamon Challenge. 2. Terminator 4. 3. The Holocaust. 4. Coffee at 11 PM. 5. Aftershave's breath freshener. 6. Nandas. 7. Appendicitis. 8. Korean Airlines. 9. MySpace. 10. Catching my junk in my flies. Jerking off with shampoo. All guys make this mistake at least 3 times. Desperate women. Less than fully seaworthy boats. Unseasoned travel companions. Companies that don't meet every one of the promises that they make. Hotels and restaurants without a majority of positive reviews. Getting cancer. Spray painting my balls gold. Edit. My friends and I were building a treehouse and we had a bunch of spray paint to sign our names in it. I got dared to spray paint my nuts gold. So me being me, I went for it. It stung real bad. We were in the woods right near a lake, so I ran down to the lake screaming in pain. Never again. Salvia. Such a weird, disorienting trip, and I felt like a stranger in my own home while coming down. Acid LSD. Had a great trip but was legitimately unglued and removed from reality. I've done plenty of mushrooms and always felt like I had a loose grip on the world around me. I'm never going to make another empty promise. Daylight savings time. This weekend I woke up and said, you know what? Duck this. Daylight savings time can shove it up the ass. Then I basically informed my co-workers I would be arriving an hour early to work and leaving an hour early, and if they have a problem they can go duck themselves, and otherwise didn't change my life in any way. Didn't change my clocks. Didn't change it. And you know what? Duck DST. Never again will I hang out with the group of friends I had in high school. It is better to be alone than to hang out with a group of people that make you feel alone. Duck those guys. Vegas. I may be unusual, but I ducking hate Las Vegas. Going into the Dead Sea on my period. Imagine sticking a tampon with needles in it up your uterus. Edit. Apparently I need to retake 6 ed. Edit 2. Also English. Edit 3. I have no idea what caused it, but I was with about 25 more people on their periods and they all felt similar pain. Also I've heard not to pee in the Dead Sea. Forgetting to lock the door whilst watching my favorite show. Never again will I take my partner for granted. We both took a year-long break from each other after 4 years. To figure out what we wanted, we dated other people and gave each other space. He joined the army, and when he left for basic training it cemented everything for us. We couldn't live without the other. We've been back together for a year now and we've never been stronger. He finished basic training, and 8 months of long distance we moved in together. We communicate absolutely everything we feel now, and because of that, rarely ever fight, whereas before, that's all we did. Things get better if you really want them to with all your heart. Making eye contact with someone who is masturbating on public transit. Eating a spoonful of Chinese hot mustard by itself.